Do you ever think about the steps you have taken? And what it was that led you here? What makes you write?
That's it.
What is the substance of your stories? Is it experience? Is it a person?
Yeah.
Is it a place?
A Girl From Harare narrates Gemma Griffiths' story as she traveled across 10 African countries, exploring their roots, music, culture, food, and their creativity to start writing. The documentary also records the singer's upbringing in Zimbabwe and how her singing ability started in preschool with the help of growing up in a family that loves music. The short film follows the release of her single Kwale, which pays homage to Kenya, and she joins us now to tell us more about the documentary and the single. Gemma, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you, Gemma. I want to talk about the idea of traveling. That was in 2019. What inspired that idea and why 10 African countries?
You know, I think when I set out, I didn't really know what I wanted to create. I just knew that I wanted to write in total immersion of an experience. And for me, being amongst new places and new people and seeing as much of this continent as possible, you know, was really important to me. So I packed my life into a Land Rover and myself and a filmmaker, Mark Nielsen, just started driving. Yeah, I think we would have continued had the pandemic not hit. But yeah, it was just about creating art and experiencing this continent.
And what was Mark's reaction when you pitched this idea to him? Say, look, I want to travel. Let's get into the car and travel 10 countries.
It actually worked out really well because he was also planning on doing a trip, and so we just combined forces, combined ideas, and him being an amazing documentary maker, it sort of all worked out. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without him.
Now, I understand this was all written in the car. Was it in between your travels? Please share more about this.
Yes, so I had a little studio that I packed up into the car, and I spent the entire time sort of writing about experiences and places and ideas, and then recording them, laying them down anywhere, you know, in the back of a hotel cupboard, or you know, in a little studio somewhere in Zanzibar, or in the back of the car, and wrote a whole bunch of music that sort of told this story.
Talk to us about the different cultures and what did you find? So in the different country you find this and in that. Take us through some of that.
You know, I think I'm really grateful for growing up Zimbabwean, because you tend to be very open to meeting new people and to sort of experiencing things and being very trusting. And I think that was incredible, because meeting new people along the way everybody is on this continent is phenomenal, I think. And everywhere you go, there is someone who is exciting and warm and beautiful. And I think that is a trend that follows the entire way up the continent. Yeah, Africa is an incredible place.
So how much time did you spend in each country?
It varied, and often we'd go back to a country, so it wasn't just a straight route. You'd sort of follow whatever it is that your heart would desire. You'd wake up in the morning and say, should we stay, should we go? But a couple of months, I'd say, we were on the road for almost 2 years.
And what did those experiences teach you about your love for music and growing up on this continent?
You know, I think music is an incredibly international language. I think it can break down so many barriers. And it's an incredible starting place to connect with a person through music. And Africa is definitely home for that. Rhythms and instrumentalists and voices. You know, these are things that are really culturally strong no matter where you move on the continent, and an amazing way to sort of connect with people. Just through the power of music. You might not know anything about each other, but you connect immediately.
And I mean, you feature Sauti Soul, member of Chamino, in the docu. Share with us your relationship with him. How does he fit into the entire film?
Yeah, so the boys, I met the Sauti Soul boys when I was traveling into Kenya, and it was an instant connection. I ended up staying with Bien, one of the singers from Sauti, for almost a month. I stayed in his house, and we just became really good friends, all of us. They're a phenomenal group of incredibly humble, talented men, and Shimano and I ended up doing a remix of one of my songs together, and so having him speak in the docu, you know, was an amazing thing.
I mean, talk to us about the difficulty of trying to put all this into one documentary, you know, given how much you've seen, 10 countries. How difficult was it to, you know, make sure that it fits it all into a documentary that's not too long?
Yeah, I think having it bite-sized was important to make sure that you could get as much of the over story. But obviously, to live on the road for 2 years in somewhere as incredible as Africa, you can never fit that all in. I've got so many books that I've written on this experience, and hopefully one day when travel is possible again, we can carry on the story and show a bit more. But yeah, hopefully the music also pours a bit of that story out, because there's an endless collection of stories.
Yeah. Speaking of music, talk to us about Kwale. What is the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, Kwale was a place in Kenya, on a province on the East Coast, that I really fell in love with. And at a time when I was sort of missing home and missing that idea of familiarity, because obviously when you are living on the road, everything is new. And we sort of came back after a couple of months. We returned to Kwale and spent some time, and to wake up and know the people around you and know who's going to be there and know where to go was an amazing feeling, and the first time in a long time that I had felt like, wow, okay, I know this place, I know my way around. And so I dedicated that song to Kwale, to this idea of like a nostalgia and feeling at home somewhere, a familiarity.
Mm. And where do people watch this documentary?
It's on YouTube at the moment. It's called A Girl From Harare, and it's on my page, Gemma Griffiths.
Why was it important that you name it A Girl From Harare?
You know, I think the thing that I sort of really encompassed when I was away were all these lessons and things that I had carried with me from home. Harare is home. It's where I grew up. It is, it is where so much of my story was born. And so for me, I could feel the whole way along that my upbringing and my roots were with me, and they were the reason that I was doing what I was doing.
And what did this whole experience teach you about who you are?
You know, I think living on the road and living in a place where you are really, it's not luxurious at all. You're constantly trying to figure out how to get everything that you need to make this possible. I think what it really showed me is my knack for adventure and resilience. I think you build a resilience, but yeah, just my love for this continent. Africa, if it's born in you, is not going anywhere.
All right, Gemma, thank you so much for talking to us. She's a Zimbabwean singer and has just released a documentary titled A Girl From Harare. We spoke to her on what can be expected in that documentary, as well as her single that she dedicated to Kenya. All right, after the break.